Emanuel Navarrete ha arrasado en 3 categorías de peso para convertirse en campeón mundial en todas ellas. Su estilo poco ortodoxo y completamente implacable ha sido demasiado incluso para algunos de los mejores de sus divisiones. Con un porcentaje de knockouts superior al 75%, es uno de los peleadores más confiables cuando se trata de acción pura. En cada una de estas brutales victorias por knockout, incluso el público podía sentir la presión y el dominio que imponía sobre sus rivales. Dogbu 2. El 11 de mayo de 2019, en el Tucson Convention Center en Arizona, Navarrete se enfrentó a Isaac Dogbu en una revancha muy esperada. Mientras que la primera pelea se fue a decisión, Emanuel sabía que esta vez tenía que finalizarla para poner el último clavo en el ataúd. Apenas 5 meses después del primer combate, Emanuel estaba más que listo para defender el título supergallo de la WBO que le había arrebatado a Dogbu. Tras perder la primera vez, Dogbu tuvo claras dificultades para dar el peso de 122 libras y se le veía más desgastado que nunca. En su primer enfrentamiento, Dogbu era favorito con menos 800, pero esta vez Navarrete llegaba como favorito menos 220, aunque algunos aún creían que su primera victoria había sido solo suerte.
Dogbe at 5'3", Navarrete at 5'7". There is a difference of 7.5 inches in their reach in favor of Vaquero Emanuel Navarrete.
Y'all see how Dogbe is. He's trying to come in. He's trying to get close to him, but he's not using his jab. He's just looking for those big shots.
He's blocked the majority of those punches so far from Navarrete.
You hear the loud voice to the left of us. That's Isaac Dogbe's father and trainer, Paul. Good body shot to the left by Navarrete. Goes back to the left hand with the hook, over top with the left to the forehead of Dogbe.
He needs to add a jab to that.
You talked about Bomac, Dogbe, and the need for him to come out firing early. Although he hasn't landed a ton of power punches, he has been the aggressor so far.
Yeah, but he can't keep eating that jab like that. Can't do that all night. It's going to take a toll.
3 good body shots from Dogbe, and then over the top with the right comes Navarrete in return. One thing, Bomac, that Dogbe is doing, he is getting inside, but he's coming straight at Navarrete, and not a whole lot of side-to-side movement.
One of the things that was kind of alarming to me in the meetings is when we asked Dogbe, how are you going to get inside? How are you going to do it? He kept saying, just fitness. I need to have my legs there. His legs looked a little wobbly right there, and again.
Big left hand from Navarrete.
He just kept saying fitness. If I'm on my fitness, if I'm 100% good shape, I'll close the gap.
Nice slip and left hook by Dogbe.
And Dogbe, Bomac continues to work the body and is effective. Good counter left, though, from Navarrete.
He needs to keep pushing him back just like that. You got to use his legs.
Oh, Dogbe caught with an uppercut.
That hurt him.
Navarrete looks cool, calm, and collected. Lands with a left hook. Now another left uppercut, left hook. Navarrete on the attack. Second round as we take a look back at it. Bomac, if you were to draw up what the strategy is for Dogbe to get inside and connect with body punches, he did that, and yet Navarrete was still able to win the round, and convincingly. 10 seconds to go here in round number 2. Another uppercut to the chin of Dogbe.
His heart.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. You just can't. He's got a heart of a warrior. He embodies what Nejo means to him and his team, which we haven't touched on too much, but it's that warrior chant that's brought him to this point.
Left hand to the body connects for Navarrete. And Dogbe clipped with an uppercut, tripped over his own feet. And now getting pummeled to the body.
Oh, good left hand by Dogbe on the inside, and another one as Navarrete pulls out. Oh.
Navarrete with the overhand right followed by the left. A left-handed uppercut. A right hook from Navarrete. Uppercut, right hook.
Oh, he hurt him. He hurt him.
Dogbe on the ropes. Navarrete with the uppercut goes to the body. Navarrete has barely broken a sweat.
He smells blood.
Another combination. Landing those uppercuts at will.
Oh, he's shaking his head at him.
Navarrete fully in control. Uppercut this time to the body. Straight across with the right hand as Navarrete continues to score. A counter punch with the right from Dogbe. Dogbe continuing to get pummeled.
That left uppercut by Navarrete. Navarrete just still steadily punching. And I like the way he's punching. He's going under, he's coming over, he's coming around.
Overhand right from Navarrete. Left from the body by Dogbe, but as Christina mentioned, not a lot of power there. Here in tonight's main event. Vargas Burchelt, the rematch is the next match. Navarrete continues to come forward. Dogbe swinging, missing. Uppercut by Navarrete, who's picking his spots beautifully. Huge right hand across the chin of Dogbe. Who seems
like he got his legs
I was
back.
just going to say that, Bomac. Especially on the defensive end. Well, he got hit with a couple of huge punches in the third round. There's another one, a left hand uppercut from Navarrete. Three-punch combination in response from Dogbe. Dogbe going to the jab, now the body. Overhand right from Navarrete lands.
Navarrete is getting a little reckless.
And again, Dogbe is wobbly after getting hit with the left. Dogbe can't find his feet underneath him. Dogbe caught in the corner, and he falls forward. That is not a knockdown.
The advantage of the sides coming in at. And the punching power of Navarrete.
A very unsteady Isaac Dogbe here in the fourth round. Uppercut with the left hand from Navarrete. Dogbe just curling and taking it.
He's broke.
Another left to that nose that might be broke of Dogbe. Dogbe again falters into the ropes. A straight left hand to the nose.
I like what Navarrete's doing. He's giving different angles.
An absolute domination by Navarrete. Fifth round here in Tucson, Arizona. Navarrete goes to the body with the right. That swollen right eye of Dogbe that he suffered in the second round has not gotten any better. The counter left from Navarrete, now an overhand right.
Better for Dogbe.
As Dogbe is starting to push Navarrete around a little bit.
Navarrete ain't breathing heavy or nothing. He's got his mouth shut.
Very tough.
Two good hooks from Dogbe, a third with the right hand. Dogbe with a little momentum here in the fifth round. Comes back with the left, now a right to the body. So Bomac, you heard Christina say that that was Dogbe's best. And Navarrete taking a break here in the fifth.
Guys, punch output has lowered significantly, and it's enabled Isaac to have what has been his best round of the fight so far. And can Navarrete come out and pick the work rate up again, because he kind of took that round off.
Overhand right from Navarrete after Dogbe landed with the body on the left side.
Navarrete's favorite punch is that little short left uppercut and that left hook. He'll set it up where he'll touch it with the right.
Dogbe was stunned a moment ago with a big left from Navarrete. Dogbe with a big left hand. But again, Navarrete just standing in the middle of the ring. Going away, hits with the right, now two left hooks. Moving forward for Navarrete.
Isaac can't pull out like that.
What do you mean, Bo?
When I say pull out, see how he step around? He steps right into that left hook. Just like that.
Two left hooks, one to the chin, one to the body.
I set it up with the right hand first.
And then gets popped with another left hook. Bomac called it.
It's giving Navarrete problems. That's why his dad wanted him to move his feet.
A straight right from Navarrete, and that is a knockdown. The third time that Dogbe has gone down, but the first time it has been ruled a knockdown.
With his left uppercut.
He goes right back to the left hook, does Emanuel Navarrete. Another left hook. Dogbe trying to clinch, Navarrete won't let him. Dogbe in the corner, hit with another left hook. An overhand right, a left uppercut to the body. Navarrete.
He's a little sloppy with these punches, Navarrete. As these
has a lot of work to do. Combination pushes Dogbe into the corner. Navarrete has landed 45% of his power shots compared to Dogbe landing 33%. Dogbe, nice overhand right, but the response from Navarrete is even stronger. He looks like a seasoned champion. Huge right hand, straight across the face from Navarrete to Dogbe. Worked with doctors and nutritionists to get his body right. And yet, so far, Navarrete, the bigger, more collected, and huge left hand by Navarrete. Overhand right, left hook.
Right hand that never really too.
Well, you know, we've talked about it already, Bomac, but the way I see it so far, and correct me if you guys disagree, I have all but one round in favor of Emanuel Navarrete. So if that's the case, we are going now into the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, 4 rounds to go, meaning Dogbe cannot win it on the cards, meaning he needs a knockout. Nice overhand right and a left hook from Dogbe. Navarrete comes right back.
How many more big shots, how many more exchanges will you let him to take? And he said, like you alluded to, Bomac, he's in physically in great condition. So I'm not too concerned about it right now at this point.
Overhand right lands for Navarrete. Comes back with a nice right to the body. Dogbe definitely not as wobbly as he was there in the 3rd and 4th rounds.
Comes from being in shape. I'm guessing he takes a little bit of that power.
Spoke too soon. Dogbe stumbles into the ropes to finish round number 8. He swept all 3 judges' scorecards in rounds 9 through 12 to win the belt from Dogbe. They trade hooks. Navarrete retreating. Dogbe putting on the pressure to start the 9th. Dogbe connects with the left, but not a ton of power behind it as he was moving away. Swinging and missing. Navarrete dancing out of trouble. Nice left uppercut for Vaquero. Emanuel Navarrete, the cowboy. Straight right hand, lands flush. And it's been a while too since Dogbe was able to get inside.
The problem is I just keep hearing his corner saying, move your feet, use your feet. That's not going to get it done.
Left uppercut, left hook from Navarrete, and then a jab with the left. Dogbe responds, an overhand right. Navarrete charging him. Now they switch positions. Navarrete toying with Dogbe, throwing him around like a ragdoll in the ring. Navarrete charges, a big overhand right out of the clinch. Left uppercut. Dogbe is on his heels, nearly held up by the ropes. Navarrete with the right hook. Dogbe a counter right of his own. Overhand right from Navarrete. 10 seconds to go in the round.
Corner right, I want to stop this.
Big right hand from Dogbe. Navarrete has landed nearly as many as Dogbe has thrown.
I think Paul needs to take a serious look at his son right now and think about his health and his well-being and him living to fight another day.
Big left uppercut from Navarrete. Dogbe continues to come right at him. Big left, straight on the button by Navarrete. Lands with the jab. And a left hand to the jaw. Dogbe caught in the corner once again. Navarrete again smells blood. Might not be enough time in this round for Navarrete to pour it on, but he did find an opening there as the round was winding down. It was nearing complete closure. Huge combination to start the 11th round from Navarrete. And if you're Navarrete, Bomac, really
But you gotta give Dog Bay some credit too, with all the heart that he got.
Huge left uppercut as Navarrete connects yet again. That has been the signature punch of this fight. Straight left, overhand right. Navarrete picking his spots and executing beautifully. Dog Bay needs a knockout. He has not come anywhere close.
Emanuel Navarrete, Bomac, just like you said, no point in getting in there trying to exchange in a firefight.
Dog Bay getting inside wildly. Overhand left in response from Navarrete as they both wrestle into the ring. Two back-to-back hooks from Navarrete.
Navarrete still coming.
Yep. And for Isaac, some fighters just have your number.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
1.5 minutes to go in the final round of a dominating performance by Emanuel Navarrete.
He hurt his, I think Navarrete hurt his right hand.
Now Dog Bay held up by the ropes, and Dog Bay goes down for the second time in this fight. Do we know?
He did hurt his right hand had been bothering him. Bothered him in the first fight, and he's shaking it out right now. Fortunately for him, there's 1 minute left in this fight.
And Dog Bay's corner throws in the towel. Emanuel Navarrete erases any doubt. TKO win in the 12th round.
And that was the punch with the right hand that I think did it in terms of not only causing Paul Dog Bay to step in and stop the fight, but also further probably injuring the right hand of Navarrete. But it was only a matter of time. I think that Dog Bay's corner probably could have stopped this fight a little earlier than they did, but I know that they wanted their son. He wanted to give his son a chance, but Bomac, you said it, swallowing his pride, throwing the towel in, and still
saving his son.
Champion and saving his son.
El padre y entrenador de Dogpo no soportó ver más castigo y lanzó la toalla en el 12º y último asalto. Santísima. El 22 de febrero de 2020, en el MGM Grand Garden Arena de Las Vegas, Navarrete se enfrentó a Geo Santísima. La pelea formó parte de la cartelera de la esperada revancha entre Deontay Wilder y Tyson Fury. Antes de la pelea, Emanuel era amplio favorito 30-1 y aseguró que sería el primero en noquear a Santísima.
It's funny there are world champions in this modern era of the sport.
But in most cases, when you're fighting at the highest level, 2, maybe 3 times a year is probably the right antidote.
He also roughed him up down the stretch of that fight to the point where he scored a TKO, did Navarrete, in the 12th round.
Well, the outcome wasn't nice.
No, the outcome was brutal for Dog Bay. Of course, we have the ultimate rematch tonight. First rematch in heavyweight history between undefeated world champions.
Opportunity. He's yet to find his range, so he hasn't thrown very many punches at this point.
Only to continue on stage and after the scale with the barbs that were thrown.
Since they couldn't really see each other face to face or get as close as they normally would at a weigh-in, so I guess that was the alternative.
Yeah, that was the decision made after Wednesday's news conference.
Yeah.
WBO 122-pound championship fight. Santissima in the darker trunks, the challenger from the Philippines.
Mark Breland, also a former Kronk fighter.
Yeah, Mark Breland, by the way, a great fighter back in the day, both as an amateur and as a pro, and he has been a critical part of the success of Deontay Wilder, a longtime trainer from there in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, JD's. That has been an unbreakable bond for years for Wilder. A body punch comes in from the champion, Navarrete.
In the park to get a break, and Navarrete noticed it.
Navarrete finding some confidence coming forward here. Body punches, he's been able to land 14%. That left hand hit the mark moments ago.
It's hard to know what he's going to do. He shows you one thing and he does another. You think he's throwing the left, he throws the right. The next thing you know, you're in a shootout with him, and then he's back on the outside using his reach. I love what he's doing. I don't think he gets enough credit for his nuance, for his skill, and for his boxing IQ.
Yeah, and he's throwing these punches at distance. You know, he's not going in real close to throw these uppercuts. He's throwing these uppercuts from far.
And that's really a no-no in the boxing game when you're being taught.
Usually guys come back with a good right hand after a guy throws an uppercut, but you know, it's not easy to hit Navarrete with a right hand.
Combination here at the end of round number 3. Another left hand from Navarrete. Trying to target the right hand, and he does. #1 in the history of heavyweight boxing live gate in the state of Nevada. Of course, we will get those final numbers in the coming days, but it is going to be north of 17 million.
It shows great promotion and social media.
Lennox, you are connected with history every which way because your fight against Evander Holyfield that had the record for live gate.
There you go.
Well, you had some of the greatest, and we're happy to have you here ringside on our broadcast team. The wrap on that right hand, Andy Lee, who was monitoring the wrapping of Wilder's right hand for Team Fury.
Whoa.
No objection, and look at Santissima as he comes forward here in round 4 against the world champion Navarrete.
And here you see Navarrete coming in with his combinations. A little bit of off balance when he's throwing that hook. Gets caught with a great left hook by Santam.
Hit him in the neck.
Yeah, hit him in the neck.
Here's Santissima coming up. Yeah, he gets him right in the neck and the side of the head.
Clean
So
shot.
by far, the challenger from the Philippines' best moment of the fight.
But it's like I said, he's willing to exchange. He's willing to fight you. He's unafraid, but you have to be right in front of him.
Need to respond.
So it's like I said, now you're in a shootout all of a sudden. So you see Navarrete boxing and using his skill, and all of a sudden you're in a shootout. It's hard to get mentally settled when you're facing Navarrete.
He was coming forward that time, and it gets Navarrete's attention at least.
What you see is one guy in Santissima who does one thing well. If he's in place and he has you right there, he throws good shots with both hands. Then you see Navarrete who does multiple things good. I'm going to take the guy who has more tricks up his sleeve and more tools in the toolbox.
Santissima willing to dip and go to the body, but what does he do? He eats more return fire.
Navarrete is showing these nuances in his skill because he stays busy, Joe. He's an active fighter, so you have no choice but to get better when you're active.
Threw over 85 punches in this round alone, did the champion Navarrete. Inside reporter, and thrilled to have Kate Abdo and Mark Kriegel providing commentary. And our unofficial scorer ringside is Larry Hazard Sr. Rate of Navarrete that has been controlling the action as he lunges ahead with a series of right hands. Turns southpaw for a moment. That has thrown 375 punches. And now he's landed 120. Opened up that time, and filling the spot was a left hook from the Filipino Santissima, and it doesn't even stop Navarrete at all. He just keeps punching. Wide-ranging right hand, and now Navarrete is on the attack here in round number 5. He is backing up Santissima. Navarrete clubbing, touching him time and again. Left uppercut, right uppercut, body shot comes in.
Look for that left hook to the body. Santissima has taken the headshots pretty well, but the shot he hasn't taken well is the left hook to the liver from Navarrete.
This is great work rate here of the volume punching attack and the aggression of Emanuel Navarrete. He is a fan-friendly fighter.
He needs to really, you know, weather the storm and then come back with a combination of his own.
This has been a dominating 5th round from Emanuel Navarrete. Right hand from Navarrete, trying to get over the top there. 450 punches to this point. Comes to the inside. Santissima tried to time something, and now Santissima goes to the body, and there's a left hook upstairs from Navarrete.
Navarrete is a veteran. He fights when he wants to fight, and he rests when he wants to rest, but he's even learned how to rest and take a round off.
Conversation driven between the guy who was the heavyweight champion of the world and the guy who retired undefeated as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. 122-pound championship with Emanuel Navarrete, who has been among the most active world champions in boxing. Overall, he's out-connected Santissima 164-42, including 124 power punches, the best work coming in round number 5 when he had 47 connects.
Well, this slot on this card, Joe, was not even Navarrete's initially. It was Gilberto Ramirez.
It's interesting about the future of Navarrete, assuming he defends the title here tonight and gets through this. He has been struggling to make 122 pounds. When we met with him the other day, he walks into the room. Lennox, I saw your eyes go up. He was chewing on ice cubes. That's all he was eating for about a day and a half, just chewing on ice cube at 122 pounds.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, you got to fight the weight that you're comfortable at. And if he's not comfortable there, if it's hard for him to make weight, go up.
There's no easy work at 126 for Navarrete, but great matchups, like you said.
Carl Frampton there. Josh Warrington, of course, Shakur Stevenson, who Andre Ward.
Also a sharp dresser.
Is he ever? Coming to the end of round number 7, and that affords us the opportunity to go up to Brian Kenny and the guys.
Deontay's not thinking about anything but the job at hand. He's actually relaxed and focused. And Tyson Fury has that Ali personality.
Deontay Wilder is a fascinating personality. You'll hear that roar of Bomb Squad a little later on. Of course, you will see if he can deliver the ultimate bomb, and that is the eraser, the right hand. He has 41 knockouts, the most of any current champion. Pacquiao with 39. Canelo has 36. Here we are in round number 8. Larry Hazard Sr. has it 59-55 in favor of Emanuel Navarrete. For title defense, he has been dominating the action so far, with the exception of round number 4, when we saw Santissima land that left hook, the neck and the side of the head of Navarrete.
Not to take away from this fight, Joe, but the more that this arena starts to fill up, you start to feel the suspense and the anticipation of the main event. It's tangible. You feel it in the air.
Well, let's add that up the right way there as we include round 7 there. I just took a glance. It's 69-64 here. And then there's going to be a very special ceremony tonight prior to the main event to celebrate the great legacy of ringside. Of course, we have one as our broadcast partner. Lennox Lewis and Andre Ward ringside with us here.
Navarrete needs to get back to hitting the body of Santissima. That's when he's had his best success, or at least visibly. He's hurt Santissima with headshots, but the left hooks to the body are that's what's jumped out at me the most, and I think he needs to get back there to try to get this stoppage win tonight.
End of 8.
There's been rumors coming out of, I don't want to say out of Camp Fury, but just swirling about the cut and maybe not training properly, keeping Deontay Wilder guessing. What you don't know, you have to wonder about. So I think it's a great strategy.
Santissima's, he's receiving these shots, he's blocking them, but he's not answering. He's not coming back with his own shots, which he should.
Big night here in Vegas, our first world title fight. We have the heavyweight eliminator and then the big one, Wilder Fury, which means all the celebrities will be coming out. And believe it or not, many have arrived early here to the MGM Grand Garden Arena. You see him going southpaw, so the right hand is now his lead jab hand. As he turns southpaw, goes back to orthodox, of course, and gets a combination. He has been switching stances a bit here.
Yeah,
and now a combination on the inside, and you can see the tape is actually loose on Santissima. Some good work here in round number 10 by Navarrete.
To the body. Headshots are good, but he needs to finish downstairs with that left hook to the body, just like that.
Look at this attack by Navarrete, and every so often Santissima is trying to place a punch between punches, but it has been a tidal wave of offense here in round number 10 all of a sudden from Navarrete.
I say that because Santissima can take a good headshot. Sometimes guys can take it to the head all night long, but sometimes they can't take it to the body. The only shot that Santissima reacts from is the left hook to the liver.
Hold right now because
he
he's
covers
tired.
up every time.
Yeah.
That was a desperate right hand from Santissima right there.
That was a big 10th round from Navarrete.
How does it feel? It's a nuisance. It's annoying. You want everything to be right when you're in a boxing ring. So to feel a wrap loose, and again, I've never heard of this. I normally hear about a wrap being too tight. But either way, it's something that's not right. It's annoying.
Santissima willing here in round number 11. And look at Navarrete now with his elbow up on the top rope before he comes out at the Filipino challenge.
Took a few seconds ago, hurt Santissima.
Yeah, he's still squinting from it.
And Navarrete sees Santissima affected. You can tell,
Yeah.
and there's a headshot, Santissima. He is compromised here in round number 11. Navarrete on the charge, trying to place a short uppercut on the inside. Combination punching upstairs, uppercut, body shot to the left hand, runs to him to close the gap. Can he close the show here in style? Round number 11, trying to defend his title one more time. Santissima so game. He actually ducked through the blue and white rope for a moment there. Strafing attack to the head, coming down and wrapping up as Santissima back from the Mexican world champion.
And the referee is very close to the.
And now tying up so awkwardly that he throws Navarrete into that top rope. Clearly damaged is Santissimo. Can Navarrete finish things off here in round number 11? Russell Morris giving it a look. There it is. TKO victory. Emanuel Navarrete.
Oh, that's discouraging. That drains you.
And then the end of the fight, Lennox.
Yeah, Navarrete it's just a volume of punches.
Muchos notaron que Navarrete se veía lento y fatigado durante el combate, y más tarde se reveló que se lesionó el pulgar derecho desde los primeros asaltos. Aunque Santissima fue elogiado por su resistencia, muchos sintieron que estuvo en modo supervivencia desde temprano y no tenía respuesta para el ataque constante de Navarrete. Díaz. El 24 de abril de 2021, en la Silver Spurs Arena en Florida, Navarrete se enfrentó a Christopher Pitufo Díaz. Antes de la pelea, Díaz afirmó que Shakur Stevenson era mucho mejor peleador que Navarrete y ya lo había derrotado anteriormente. Al disputarse la pelea en Florida, hubo una gran presencia de fanáticos puertorriqueños, lo que encendió aún más la rivalidad entre Puerto Rico y México. Díaz prometía constantemente llevarse el título a Puerto Rico, a pesar de ser el no favorito, convencido de que expondría las debilidades de Emanuel. Por su parte, Navarrete se mantuvo humilde, enfocado completamente en su preparación y estrategia.
Who have put that forth, and it has been more effective against Navarrete as he lands a right hand to the body.
Well, that's the right idea. Foot movement, the right kind of movement, not wasted, and the right distance and range, and then countering when Navarrete makes mistakes. That's how you take a fighter's punch count down. Sneaky little overhand right there a few seconds ago from Diaz.
That's what he has to do. Every mistake and every time Navarrete, he needs to make him pay.
See Diaz looking out for that uppercut, blocking it well, at least right now.
He will often throw that lead uppercut with the left hand from distance. I mean, put a left hand to the body just underneath that right elbow. Tried to time a right hand over the top. Navarrete so awkward, so unorthodox with his approach, unconventional in how he throws his punches and where he throws them from. And able to have head movement away from the left hook of Diaz.
Tess, Navarrete fights like, you know, he's on a different station, you know, radio station than everybody that he fights.
His frequency's off.
When he attacks you, it's when you least expect it.
Three-punch combination, finished with the left uppercut. Opens up with a wide sweeping left hand to close out round number 1. Title on the line at 126 pounds.
I think Diaz did exactly
There it is.
what you're supposed to do when you're facing an awkward fighter. You don't get awkward with them. You stay composed, and you stay under your feet, meaning both of your feet.
Over that jab of Navarrete.
That's what you need to do. You need to time it. Navarrete, he shoots his punches from his hip sometimes, and you can catch him over the top if you counter him, if you time him perfectly, as you saw Diaz did with the right hand.
That's what I've been talking about power boxing, where you get your shots off, you commit, but you don't give anything back. You make Navarrete.
Ooh, big right hand.
And then on the inside, Diaz getting off to that body. Navarrete placing that right hand moments ago. Three-punch combination from Diaz.
Diaz is seeing that a mile away, and he's either countering or getting out of harm's way.
Pedro Navarrete told me that he wants Emanuel to start cutting off the exits and pick up his work rate to break down Christopher Diaz.
Not as many exits when you're 18 by 18 inside the ropes.
Of Diaz.
He just did.
That's what he's doing. Now he's picking up the pace.
Good shot. That awkward, long lunging left hand from the champion, and now this is the volume, and this is the offensive attack we're used to seeing from Navarrete.
Yeah, that's vintage Navarrete right there.
And then he finds his opponent, Diaz, off balance, and he immediately lunges in and comes with the left uppercut again.
Can change or mount his own attack. Maybe change the game plan a little bit. One of the things that you can do when you have a fighter like Navarrete that gets off and gets going, you got to tie him up, break his rhythm. That's what you do. Looking for the fight.
Right hand comes in from Navarrete. There are those opportunities to punch within these big punches that many have described as long and slow, but we know they've been effective. Left hand to the body from Diaz.
Right. And when you think he's going to rest, he's punching. When you think he's out of position, he's actually in position. That's what's difficult to deal with.
See a little bit of swelling under the eye, the right eye of Diaz. We'll monitor that. Big output in that round from Navarrete.
So why not shoot a body shot when you're down there?
Oh! There's that left lead uppercut, and the knockdown is scored.
6, 7. Never saw it.
His signature punch, and he cashes in.
So hard to defend against. The uppercut right up the middle. You think that you covered up, you think that you have your guards up, and he splits it with a beautiful uppercut as Diaz tried to move out to get away from his attack.
But it was that feint. It was the feint with the right hand. He looked as if he wanted to throw it. Diaz expect that right there. Diaz covered up with the left hand, and he never saw the left uppercut getting through. It was the feint that set that shot up.
Navarrete tries to get the right hand in. Diaz moves out to the side. And now he punches back with a sweeping left of his own. But you never know when it's coming. When you least expect it. 54-33, total connect advantage for the champion.
Tried it again, right there.
See, a lot of people think that Navarrete don't have an IQ. He has an underrated ring IQ. I know what you see. It don't look pretty, but he knows what he's doing and how to set up his power shots.
Off his game plan of what he wanted to achieve in the first half of this fight.
Well, if he wants to win a world title, it can't take him too far off his game plan. I can't tell you the amount of times you got to keep yourself together and get yourself together after maybe a knockdown or you get hit with a shot.
And you just shake your head and say, how in the world did this guy make 122 pounds? How?
We asked him if he had a nutritionist. He said, no, I don't like those. He said, I want to eat what I want to eat. He said, in fact, I eat food from my town.
He's the one that brought it up to us. We didn't ask him about what his future holds. He said he started asking us about matchups at 130 pounds. Diaz looking to place that left hand between Navarrete's non-stop attack here in round 5. Good stuff here. Final minute of round 5.
It's about to turn into a fight.
Earlier than expected. Diaz said he wanted to box, he wanted to use movement early, and then second half of the fight, let it go where it needs to go. The taller, longer champion in the black trunks scored the knockdown in round 4 against the local favorite, Christopher Diaz. He has a 71-43 connect advantage, does Navarrete.
Diaz right now is doing the right thing, trying to get into the body of Navarrete. He understands that when he hits him down to the body, he doesn't work. He doesn't work as much as he does from the outside.
He needs to back Navarrete up, and he's going to have to walk through some punches to do it. But Navarrete's normally used to being the guy who's backing fighters up. So when you turn the tide, you see Navarrete looks just a little bit different on his back foot.
They're right in the kitchen, and they're exchanging.
See how he whips his body around to get that uppercut? It's great rotation right there from Navarrete to be able to still just shift his body to throw that uppercut right in the midst of fire. Look at that.
The only punch that Diaz has gotten a reaction from Navarrete about is body shots.
I'm seeing the same thing, partner.
Warning from Samuel Burgos. There's a left hand right on the belt line again.
But the dangerous thing for Diaz, going down to the body, he has to be careful with those uppercuts.
That uppercut.
Sneaking underneath, because when you go to the body, you're exposed.
Backing up.
And did you see that left hand that he just threw?
Good combination from Diaz.
It looked like the body shots are starting to affect him right now.
Navarrete tried to sell it.
He did. He looked at the ref. Ref said that was good. Let's go.
But like I said, he's exposed for the uppercut, as you can see right now.
No, that body shot was good right there.
Very good exchanges to open up round 7. Oh, he just missed on that right hand over the top of the left of Navarrete. Navarrete has come out, throwing combinations. Now on the inside, Diaz, the shorter man, shorter arms, has to get to work when he's there. Both men opening up. This is taking on a really good tone, isn't it? Good pace here as they are just throwing.
This is not the fight that Diaz wanted. There's always a wrinkle. There's always an opening for your opponent. Nobody's invincible. And Navarrete's weakness is going backwards and on the inside. Doesn't mean he won't punch, but he's vulnerable. Diaz has to fight this kind of fight.
There's already a 10-8 round banked with the knockdown. Now the point deduction here. Diaz has to hit the gas pedal.
You're in the corner of Diaz. You got to tell your fighter, plan A is out the window. Keep a tight defense, and you got to fight fire with fire. That's how Diaz can win this fight.
Look at this stuff.
Here comes the answer. The answer's coming right now from Diaz.
See a little bit of blood from the nose of Diaz. They've been trying to take care of some swelling that showed up earlier just above the right eye. Reaching with that right hand. Oh, there's that uppercut. Two-punch combination from Navarrete. Tried to wrap around the left hand under the right elbow as well. But it was outstanding action, and things have changed in terms of how Diaz has to go about it. 68-63, 10-8 fourth round with the knockdown, 10-8 seventh round with the point deduction.
Test the body work of Diaz is paying good dividends. You can see the effect. You see the lows and offense from Navarrete.
See if Diaz can get back to it. Diaz has to take those steps forward, and he does. Uppercut in the midst of it, and he goes down again. Beautiful combination from Navarrete.
6, 7, 8, ¿está bien? ¿Quiere pelear? Ven para mí, ven para mí, ven para mí.
Oh, brutal shot right there.
Such a thud. Uppercut comes in. Diaz is wrapping up. Straight back goes Diaz, and coming forward like a freight train comes Navarrete. Second knockdown scored of this 8th round. Bloodied, battered, damaged is Diaz.
Test. He got to fight.
He's going for broke.
Just fight.
Throwing it all out there while taking extreme punishment.
I don't think it's a desired thing with Diaz. He doesn't have any answers.
Oh my goodness. It's
Look at this combination.
Just doesn't have any answers.
It's that offense, Dre. That's what it is. That offense. That's heavy leather right there.
Throws himself off balance.
Knocked himself down.
Throws himself off balance.
Got to keep an eye on that.
Diaz with an opportunity and placed a right hand in the midst of those punches. He's got heart. You look at his face, and you look at what Mike Basil, the cut man, had to deal with after that 8th round. And Navarrete just got away from. Hands were down, and that left hook came in.
Navarrete got a chin on him.
What did he say to you when we met with him yesterday?
Got to beat him. It's a tough question. Tough question to answer right now, but he's going to be a tough out for anybody.
He doesn't know how to give up. That's not who he is. Look at him getting right into the furnace with a guy who has put this kind of damage on him. I have faith in you. There's no pain. There's no pain. There's no pain. As he's looking at that face filled with pain. And look at how Diaz responds. And look at how Navarrete is willing to dish more out. As Diaz is moving forward, lands a right hand. And he's got Navarrete against the ropes. And Navarrete says, we can do this all night long. 12th and final round, title on the line. It's up huge on the scorecards. And yet Diaz is landing some right hands here in this 12th and final round. Desperate for a knockout.
Tess, and you're wondering how Diaz is able to do this after taking those shots and being down. I'm going to tell you right now.
Navarrete closing in on defending his title, and Diaz on wobbly legs. How much can you possibly take and still be giving? Oh, Navarrete's damaging him badly.
Red's got to get in there.
Damaging him so badly.
That's it, fellas.
Gotta be it.
You don't need to go anymore. That's it.
He just ragdolled him. It's over. They're up on the apron. The fight is over.
Unbelievable work by both guys, showing heart, will, going down to the end of this round. You see Diaz takes a big punch right there. He's trying to give it all he got. He's trying to stay on his feet. Navarrete is just too strong, coming from angles, different angles, from the southpaw stance, the right-handed stance, and then down goes Diaz.
Diaz gave everything that he had. You rarely see this in a boxing ring. You hear fighters talk about giving it everything they had. But until you put yourself in harm's way and risk getting knocked out or beat up, you haven't given everything that you have. Diaz did that. He came here to win a championship. Sometimes you don't leave with the championship. You don't leave with the victory, but you leave with your respect, and Diaz did that tonight.
Diaz tuvo serios problemas para seguir el ritmo de Navarrete e incluso perdió un punto por golpearlo por la espalda en el séptimo asalto. Al final, Diaz demostró gran resistencia. Cayó 4 veces, pero siempre se levantó para seguir peleando. Báez. El 20 de agosto de 2022, en la Pechanga Arena de San Diego, Emanuel se enfrentó a Eduardo Báez. Navarrete tuvo problemas en el pesaje, superando el límite, pero logró bajar a 125,8 libras para cumplir con la categoría pluma. Admitió que fue extremadamente difícil dar el peso tras un largo periodo de inactividad. Era su primera pelea en 10 meses, el periodo más largo sin actividad en su carrera, lo que generaba dudas sobre su rendimiento ante un rival de alto volumen de golpes. Aunque Báez era el no favorito, confiaba en poder poner a prueba la resistencia y movilidad de Navarrete.
This should be interesting. We're getting ready to find out.
But Timmy, the Báez of the past is a volume puncher.
He is a volume puncher, but in his last time out, he did show that he can box from the outside. That's how he got the victory. He said that one day I'll get a nutritionist, just not right now. He says, I enjoy eating what I eat, and it hasn't been a problem.
Defensive flaws and offensive opportunities to get after Navarrete. Like that. That's what Navarrete does, just floating off to the left and throwing that left hand.
Joet Gonzalez is the latest fighter to have gotten Navarrete's respect.
Yes.
And he told us that in the fight. He admitted he got hit with a lot of shots. He felt the shots. And he said that Joet was dirty, but Joet fought a good fight in that fight. It just wasn't quite good enough. Tim, I don't think what Báez means by I'm going to be outboxing Navarrete is necessarily he's going to be moving around the ring. He's got those hands up tight. He's respecting the power of Navarrete. I just think he means he's going to be tighter with the way he goes about things.
Check this out. Báez right now is starting to get confident. Navarrete is allowing him to hit him. And just watch when Navarrete turn it on. He's just downloading right now. Letting Báez have his way. and then just watch what happens.
There he comes with the long looping left hands that we've seen before, and Baez returns fire. And then comes with a sweeping left hand of his own. Good action here at the end of round one.
Look, you got to take into consideration that Navarrete's been out of the ring for 10 months. You know, he's typically used to fighting 4 or 5 times a year. He took a long break, and it's going to take some time to acclimate himself. I would say around 4 rounds.
It's good to see a fighter like Baez, who is known for coming forward, have some sort of game plan. He's thinking in there. Now, we'll see if it's enough, but he's giving himself putting himself in position to try to win this fight. That's something we've never seen anybody do, or at least very rarely. It's hit Navarrete to the body. Everybody goes for his head. Nobody touches the body. Baez is doing that in these first 2 rounds.
7 times early on, and then Navarrete himself went underneath with the left hand. There's another left hand to the body from Baez, trying to target that belt line. A little bit of separation. There was a right hand that filled the hole from Navarrete.
Yeah, but nothing is on those shots. Nothing's on those punches at all from Baez. He's not a big puncher.
Should he not throw?
Oh, he has to throw. I mean, he's landing combinations. He can win the rounds on points.
Heard his corner calling out body shot, took that extra step to close the gap, landed the right hand, which means watch out for what's coming.
The uppercut.
That's right. Signature punch for Navarrete. 1-2 from Baez, and 4 punches returned from Navarrete. Nobody has the style like Navarrete, but I feel like I know what to do. So far, the early game plan is what you see on the screen there with the body shot. 13-5 connect advantages. Baez has gone to the body.
Yeah, Baez sees that loose body Navarrete has, and he's trying to test it.
I like how Baez is even punching with Navarrete. Those punches have enough on him, Tim, because if they didn't, Navarrete wouldn't be covering up. He wouldn't be reacting. It may not be one punch power, but it's enough to get the respect of Navarrete.
Man, I'm telling you right now, if Navarrete didn't have the punching power that he possesses, he would not be where he is in the sport, man.
Or at least it should be.
Yeah, he has a better technique, and he's landing his offense down to the body, mostly, on Navarrete.
So far, Navarrete's not landing those signature uppercuts. He's missing them and getting countered like you see right here. But that can change, but thus far, Baez is fighting a good fight offensively and defensively as well.
Yeah, Baez you tend to see lays. Yeah, Baez, he typically lunges in with his head, and he's normally over his front knee.
Crowd reacting to those left hands. You can see a little bit of range in that reach advantage of Navarrete. There's the left uppercut.
Baez smothered Navarrete right there. He didn't want to punch, so he smothered Navarrete, pushed him to the ropes, and now he's getting Navarrete in a position where he can get his shots off. Good sequence right there from Baez.
And his punches don't even seem to be bothering Baez at all.
Baez throws his own left uppercut. And a right. 309-day layoff for Emanuel Navarrete, the WBO champion.
Right now, it's looking like a good respect, the kind of respect that made Baez prepare properly, made him work on his defense, so he wouldn't give Navarrete easy opportunities to land the power. And it's showing here in this fight tonight.
We'll look for that Falls in with that right hand.
Yes, he did, and he's accustomed, Navarrete, to losing the first couple rounds, getting in the rhythm and stepping on the gas.
You mentioned how he comes on later, and look at the title fights. 4 knockout wins after round 10, 3 knockouts in the 12th round.
He's making Navarrete miss, and you see Navarrete trying to step on the gas just a little bit, but Baez steals the play.
Baez is doing a great job in not leaning forward. You know, he's standing pretty straight up, not leaning over his center line. And that's why he's not getting hit with those uppercuts from Navarrete.
That left hook that grazed the top of his head got Baez's attention. He recovered well, but he felt it.
You know, it typically takes a boxer, a boxing style, about 4 rounds to really get acclimated when you have been time off. It takes a slugger a little bit longer. Navarrete is a slugger. It might take about 6 rounds as opposed to 4 rounds.
Well, we're coming to the end of 4. We will see when he shakes off all that rust fully. Don't go anywhere. Short break. As we are 4 rounds into our WBO featherweight title fight, an opportunity to catch up with Mark Kriegel.
I'm just wondering, does Navarrete know these rounds count?
Yes.
You can talk about ring rust and diet all you want. He is boxing. That doesn't mean you retreat. It doesn't mean you necessarily always move backward. You know, we're unfair to the word boxing. But anyway, he's boxing. This is what it looks like.
Dre, I think you often agree with that assessment as the way that both analysts and fans view that term when somebody's a boxer.
That word gets a bad rap. I mean, there is such thing as power boxing where you can beat a bully, you can dominate, and still be boxing.
Dre has it 3 rounds to 1 for Baez. Baez just has a nice attitude to him, doesn't he?
Oh, yes, he does. He came here to win this championship tonight.
He said it all week long. So I'm going to take this from him.
Whoa, nice chopping right hand by Baez, just taking advantage of all the flaws, all the horrible positions that Navarrete likes to get into.
Navarrete tried to chase him down with a right hand.
Baez is having success because he has a game plan, which is to be smart, have his hands up, not to be reckless. He's also showing the heart and mental toughness to answer Navarrete in key moments and key spots to get his respect. He's taking the shot of Navarrete well, but he's also delivering a good shot. He's not known to be a puncher, but trust me, Navarrete feels those shots to the body and to the head.
Good punch combination from the champ. Digs to the body with that left hand. We will see 2 former world titleists in the main event as Jose Pedraza takes on Richard Comey, and also the top heavyweight prospect in the world, Jared Anderson, will be in action next Saturday night from Tulsa, Oklahoma on ESPN.
Navarrete at the start of this round is trying to do Navarrete type of things, just not having the effect that he typically would have. Baez is perfectly poised, watching, looking, seeing everything that Navarrete is throwing, conserving energy, and looking to pick it up as this round goes on.
Pedro Navarrete had a sense of urgency in the corner, telling him, look, I need you to have a sense of urgency because this fight is getting away from you. Oh, here it goes.
And how quickly things can change. And it's over. How quickly things can change. Emanuel Navarrete, who looked like a fighter coming off a long layoff.
Baez is doing what he's been doing, boxing well. Navarrete just threw a right uppercut, just landed a perfect shot on the liver of Baez. Just a beautiful shot that fighters throw and work on all the time in the gym. Right uppercut, he didn't see it coming, boom! Didn't have a chance to brace or deflect the shot. Delayed reaction, he thought about it, he said, I need to go down. The referee counted right in front of Baez's face. He didn't have what it took to get up because that shot
paralyzes that right side, and it takes all the wind out of you.
Las dudas sobre la inactividad parecían justificadas, ya que Navarrete iba perdiendo en 2 de las 3 tarjetas. Pero un solo golpe al cuerpo terminó la pelea, evitando la decisión de los jueces. Valdés 2. El 7 de diciembre de 2024, en el Footprint Center de Phoenix, Navarrete se enfrentó nuevamente a Oscar Valdés. En la primera pelea, Navarrete ganó por decisión unánime, pero esta vez llegaba tras 2 combates sin victoria. Empató frente a Robson Conceição y luego perdió su oportunidad titular ante Denis Berinchik. Además, venía de una cirugía en la mano izquierda el año anterior, aunque aseguró estar completamente recuperado y más agresivo que nunca. Muchos fans y analistas pensaban que la revancha no era necesaria tras la clara victoria en la primera pelea, pero esta era la oportunidad de Navarrete para cerrar definitivamente la historia.
I feel rehabbed now. It wasn't the case when I fought at 135 pounds. I was fighting one-handed. I didn't even get the 600 punches, usually throwing upwards of 1,000. And I don't want to put too much as we're off to a fast start right away with Valdez. But when they had this first fight, Navarrete landed 216 punches. That's the most by a Valdez opponent. He was throwing 87 punches per round. So I do think that we can look at the punch stats tonight as a left hook lands early on and take away knowing where Navarrete actually is with his health.
I agree with you 1,000%, and he's throwing that lead hand in different ways.
You know what that gets filled with, that distance.
That uppercut again.
Navarrete.
Oh,
so
no!
awkward the angles, and a knockdown is scored. The awkward offensive attack of Navarrete scores a knockdown.
Timothy, Jim, small cut, punch.
Final 10 seconds of round number 1.
10 segundos.
A sweeping right hand to the temple by Emanuel Navarrete in the closing seconds of round 1 scored the knockdown.
Shot. It just, you know, he got caught on that temple and your legs just seem to go.
Good exchange on the inside. Navarrete landed a right hand and now trading, and Valdez ties up. This is getting rugged early on, Timmy.
And one of the things that Oscar told us is that he's going to have to control his emotions in there, and he's starting to get drug into a firefight right now with the heavy puncher, the heavier puncher in Navarrete.
Oh, look at the odds that they have shifted overwhelmingly in favor of Navarrete after the early goings that knockdown scored in round number 1.
Ooh. Nice quick changeup in levels with his offense coming off that jab. Nice right hand from Oscar Valdez.
It was straight and it was great.
Navarrete's gonna wait. He's gonna wait for Oscar to, again, that lean forward over that front knee. Just putting himself, nice counters over there for
a lot of success with the right hands by Oscar Valdez.
But shooting those right hands straight.
2-punch combination from Navarrete. He just takes that little tip to the left, and the left hand comes in hard again. Valdez came forward seemingly to tie up, but now a big attack from Navarrete as he backs him into that neutral corner.
He has his left hand now as well, and he's working it overtime right now in combination form. Navarrete said he wants to stop Oscar Valdez. He says, I don't want it to go to decision. I want to stop him.
He has great confidence in his surgically repaired left hand. That has always been the weapon of choice.
Good jab by Oscar.
Oscar had his moments in round 2. But Navarrete showed the power again. Joe and Tim calling the action here ringside of our World Championship rematch. Oscar Valdez, Emanuel Navarrete. Valdez in a hole early on, but a spirited effort by him in round number 2, bouncing back after going down in the closing moments of round number 1 from a sweeping right hand to the temple. And that's what you touched on, what Bernardo just reported about not being predictable. In your lab, you broke that down, and that was a big headline for you.
You want to make him miss completely. You see his balance isn't always there, and when he throws shots, you see his inertia takes him the way that he's going with his shot. Yeah, but that's what Oscar got to do. I mean, if he's going to win this, he got to win this in the boxing fashion. He's not going to win this battle in the fight. Got to stay disciplined, stay behind his craft. Stop leaning forward like that, because when he leans forward, he's bringing his head closer to the punches of Navarrete. Was out in a bad position right there, and he tied his man up. That's a great tactic you use against a pressure guy.
It's a short right hand on that exchange by Valdez. Tried to come with the left hook, and look at the volume punching, just the swarming from Navarrete.
Navarrete look like he about 160 pounds.
Doesn't he?
Don't he? Look at this. You see the tire around his waist?
He never looks the part, but he gets the results.
He looking strong.
Heavy-handed, big body. We had one of the oddest finishes to our first world title fight, with Robeisy Ramirez pulling a no mas and a TKO victory for Rafael Espinoza. We're going to talk plenty about that in the state of boxing following our broadcast here on ESPN. You can join us on the ESPN app. Let's check in with Bernardo.
I spoke with Pedro Navarrete Jr. and he told me, look, what we need to do is feint and don't chase. Emanuel needs to be wary of that counter right hook when he throws his uppercut, but that uppercut is there for us to land.
And you think he's going to give and release, and think the referee's going to come in, and then you just release real quick, and then you let your hands off.
Veteran move.
That's a veteran move right there. Wow.
There's that sweeping left hand. It sent him off balance back into the red corner.
There's an uppercut again. Oscar's, he's looking for his own left hook. He's looking for that big home run as well.
You know, in the corner, Bernardo was reporting that Eddie Reynoso is saying, you got to stay relaxed, you got to stay composed, but Navarrete fights in a way when he's at his best where it's tough to do that.
Yes, Navarrete makes you fight. When he's landing big, heavy shots like that, it's like, how else are you going to keep him off of you? You know, when they're outside like this, he got to sneak in. He got to sneak in behind good defense, head movement, get his offense off, and then he needs to smother and then get out. Make sure he gets far away from Navarrete and not sit there, because something's going to get in, Tess. He is doing everything he possibly can right now.
That's never been questioned in his career.
That determination is always there.
Undoubtedly it is.
Man.
Final second of the fourth round. This was a knockdown scored by Emanuel Navarrete. Look at that sharp right hand. And then the follow-up attack. And now...
The most interesting thing for me about that sequence was that Oscar Valdez was looking to tie up, but Navarrete was rotating around him, throwing those shots, not allowing him to tie him up. Ooh, big left hook by Oscar.
Go, box.
Bernardo, what can you tell us about the health of Oscar Valdez?
I just spoke with Eddie Reynoso and I said, is something up with Oscar's right foot? And he said, yes, he somewhat injured it earlier in the fight, so he's dealing with that.
Yeah, that first knockdown, he was in a bad position. His foot was caught behind him when he landed, and that may have tweaked his ankle.
He will always give everything he can. That is the nature of this proud Mexican warrior. Sharp combination from Navarrete.
Box.
You know, one of the things that Oscar has gone away from is going down to that body. I mean, when I'm looking at that body of Navarrete, I'm saying that's unfit. I'm going to take advantage of that because I want to take some of that steam away and zap off those punches for later in the fight. I'm here, it's the fifth right now, and if I invest early on, I'm hoping that it will slow him down and take some of his power away.
Well, we said we were going to watch for the volume punching and the total output of Navarrete. He is below the numbers in terms of total punches thrown.
Taking this round off right now, trying to recuperate from that last round, the end of that last round. Maybe looking for a second win.
It's been what he does in the last half minute, his best work. That has been most effective. Let's see how he finishes up this 5th round. As Valdez inches forward, moments of aggression
That body
from Oscar Valdez.
10 segundos.
Long striding left hand.
Oh, knocked his mouthpiece out.
Mouthpiece came out on that punch.
Again, Oscar Valdez. Wow,
great
what
is
a
that?
shot. That's eye candy, ain't it?
I mean, look at that.
But look where he set it up, how he set it up. Right hand was being thrown. Navarrete in the southpaw position coming underneath. You rarely ever see this type of counter in the sport of boxing, baby.
In that 5th round, as all of a sudden, in that final minute, almost as if we knew it was coming, you said, oh, he's taken part of this round off, he's recuperated. Then all of a sudden, in the last minute, he catches fire to Navarrete, and the world champion ends up throwing a fight-high 89 punches and landing a fight-high.
That right hand is landing. Got to add something to it. He got to go downstairs. He got to continue to commit downstairs on Navarrete. It's extremely important. And as you see, as I say that, he's going downstairs with the left hook.
Valdez looking for that combination now on the inside.
Box.
Valdez using that tight high guard. Deflecting a lot of the shots right now. But again, he's continuously leaning forward. And that uppercut just split the guard right there. A lot of those shots are straying behind the head, Tess. And
there's an uppercut. There's that left uppercut. And he's got a lot of time to work with here. Valdez trying to punch between punches in round 6.
Been talking about that uppercut from round 1, Tess.
Here we go.
He's leaning forward, leaning over that front knee. That's one habit he didn't correct. One habit to correct. It's a bad habit, Oscar leaning forward like that.
There's a left hand to the body, and another knockdown. Oh my, what a shot! He's got to beat the count, and he can't. Knockout victory, Emanuel Navarrete.
But Navarrete just getting in position. He knows where he's at. That's the signature punch. That's another signature punch that he throws. He leads with the uppercut. I call it the Canelo. He lifts you up, bring those elbows in, and he comes around. And he catches him as he's actually throwing a left hook himself. Double impact punch right there down to the body. Man, right to the liver.
And when that liver shot is hit perfectly,
you're not getting up.
It's like watching a brick wall just crumble to the ground.
Comenta contra quién te gustaría ver pelear a Emanuel Navarrete y no olvides dar like y suscribirte para más contenido. Nos vemos.